Today on Coffee with a IT Guy, we're going to spill some tea. It's kind of hard to hold somebody accountable when you may be in an intimate relationship with them. Remember, HR is not your friend, but apparently she was somebody's friend. Somebody's friend. And let's connect some of the dots, shall we? This person that we're talking about was an abusive VP and abusive to his male coworkers and really, really sweet to his female coworkers, to the point where he may have promoted somebody who just really didn't deserve to be promoted. You know who you are. And that's fine and all. That's fine and all. You can choose whatever pawns you want in your little game. But you know, he has erratic behavior after lunch, right? And to me, that erratic behavior is only a sign of one thing: drug use. Sweaty, heightened up, aggressive, flighty, just really high on the scale of things. You know what I mean? Like, you know when someone's doing coke. You know what that looks like. And if that person does that every day and admits to doing at least $100,000 worth of it, you would think that was just a lifelong thing, that's what they're going to do. So you're not surprised when that person comes in coked out of their mind. So on the day that I got into an incident with this guy, he was sweating, his hands were in the air, he was yelling. And now 2 hours before that, he was calm and docile. But in the afternoon, he was something else. So then his boss tells me, he had a hard time getting a hold of him in the afternoon. And I said, well, that's because he's out doing his coke somewhere, in his car, or all the way back to his house in Rantoul, or, oh, yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, yes. And yes, we can surmise. This is all allegedly. I have no evidence. I personally have no evidence. But the other person seems to think that you were sleeping with the HR lady. Now, maybe that will come surprise to the HR lady, but the treatment that she gave you and allowing you your negative behavior over and over and over, creating a hostile work environment in which there was a company policy which they were not going to tolerate that from other people. Why would they tolerate that from you? So you become the exception of the rule because of favoritism. You're sleeping with the HR lady? Now that's a twist I didn't see coming, and that would also explain why your shirt is untucked. I'm just saying. And I'm not the only one who noticed this weird behavior. And then on top of that, the embezzlement. So you created a web design company in Ohio and issued a check from your department to yourself, in which no one really noticed. I noticed, and no one heard me when I noticed. And then later to find out that I was right, that your information was fictitious, that you found a way to game the system. And for what, $2,000? And on top of that, you never really did any web design at this company. No, when I took over, I actually did web design at this company. And web design is HTML, CSS, PHP, jQuery, Elementor, Visual Composer, plugins, updates, security patches, tracking, logging, dashboard. I did all kinds of stuff. You did nothing. Somebody gave you that job. I know what his name is too. Somebody gave you that job and you didn't do anything. So I don't understand how you were able to keep that job, let alone be promoted. But if you were sleeping with the HR lady, then maybe that helped you get promoted to a VP thing. But I think it's awful strange that the week that you're fighting with your wife is the week that check mysteriously goes through. Another HR is not your friend in the mini-series that we're creating here. But it's very interesting. And I'm going to say that maybe the HR lady is clean. I'm going to say maybe she was clean. But the other guy? Not so much. Not so much. And now he works at Carl? Oh. And stalking me on LinkedIn? Oh. You don't think I can see who's stalking me? Sweetie, please. Get a life. I don't have one because I'm sitting here talking about you, apparently. But I just think the gossip is interesting. let alone the lady who was given BJ's in the parking lot. We're on top of the SEC violations. So what do you think about that? Let me see it in the comments. I don't think there's a problem with two consenting adults finding each other on a matchmaker or getting together or copulating, or I don't think there's nothing wrong with that at all. But apparently there is when you're in charge. So he's in charge and she's in charge, and she can determine whether or not certain things happen to him because of his gross negligence and decided to look the other way, and maybe they were sleeping with each other. I don't know. You don't watch my videos, but I'm sure you'll watch this one.